So, I saw the Borderlands movie, and we have a lot to talk about, guys. For this video, I'm not doing a script. I'm just gonna throw my thoughts out there, and like, everything's gonna be unfiltered, just like, it's gonna be what it is. I'm just gonna say it all. So, for the first half of the video, it's gonna be spoiler-free. I will not, spoil anything for you guys. But then the second half, we're gonna go into spoilers and like actually pick out everything and, talk about it. Also, sorry if I sound really tired. I literally just got off my flight, drove home, threw my, luggage on the bed, and just went to my computer. Also, I just want to mention it again. This is my complete honest opinion. This video is not sponsored. I literally had to buy my own flight, my own ticket. I flew myself out there and stuff. But Gearbox did cover the tickets for the movie, so thank you, Gearbox, for that. But that does not influence my opinion on this video at all. Alright, spoiler free. Should you see the movie in theaters? No. Theaters just, it's like adding extra seasoning to your food to make it tastier. You have better sound, better video, stuff like that. But the actual movie itself, man, it was a roller coaster. I will be honest, it started off okay, and then it got gradually worse and worse as it went on. Like, it was watchable, but it was just disappointing as a Borderlands fan. You're following the lore and like things are different, and it's hard to like change your mind about that when you played the franchise for such a long time. In fact, at the premiere in LA, we were in the Chinese theater, and every seat was filled, everybody was there, and it's kind of sad, but like the movie started, everybody's cheering on, woo, let's do this, oh man. And then the whole entire movie, there was only a couple of laughs from, this multi-hundred person audience. I didn't laugh once, I didn't smile once. Humor's subjective, people find things funny, some people don't find things funny. But when 150, 200 people aren't laughing, that's not good. And there was, the Borderlands humor in the movie. They tried to make people laugh, but it just didn't come off clean. And then once the movie ended, everybody cheered again. Woo, yeah. But I don't think, the majority enjoyed it. And plus, seeing on like social media too, like a lot of people are bashing the movie. Rightfully so. We're gonna get into more detail. I'm just like scattered thought right here. Sorry about it. Again, unscripted, unfiltered. I'm just saying my thoughts. So, the movie ends, and I literally sat there and just stared into the void. And I was literally fighting with my thoughts. Okay, this sounds dramatic, but like, I was just sitting there like, okay, was it okay? Was it good? Was it bad? Like, I didn't go in hating the movie. I had very low expectations at the start. But yeah, I just sat there and thought about it, and thought about it, and thought about it for like 5 minutes if I actually enjoyed the movie. It was weird. I've never done that with a movie before, but that was like the first time. And then overall, I just said, yeah, I don't want to see a sequel. That's it for me. I saw it once, cool. Would I see it again? No. Okay, so let's go into the specific spoiler-free for the movie. I will be honest, there was a few good parts, but it was mostly bad. So, it starts off, intro, seeming pretty epic. And like I said, it slowly became worse and worse over time. For the first thing, Lilith, I cannot stand her, I'm sorry. Cate Blanchett's a great actor, but when she played Lilith, she was always moody. She was always like, I don't care, like she was like almost like an adult Ava. I don't know how to better explain it. She didn't like lash out or complain. She just didn't care, I found it annoying, but a lot of people apparently did say she did fine in the movie, but maybe I'm different. And then once the movie started taking off, it's already been confirmed in the trailer, so I don't think it's a spoiler, but they're on Pandora. Pandora's a massive planet, and they're getting everywhere on Pandora by foot. Dude, Pandora's a massive planet. How do you go from this location to the next in like one cutscene? Oh, wait, hold on. They don't even show traveling. Like, it's literally, hey, let's walk this way. And then boom, the next scene, they're in the next map. It's pretty apparent for the movie that a lot did get cut out for the final cut of the film. And the movie overall was an hour and 41 minutes, I believe. But yeah, it needs to be longer. They were skimming through the story so freaking fast. There was no build up for the characters. You didn't feel for them at all. In fact, there was a couple of emotional scenes in the film. Like, they want you to feel bad or, like, oh no, and, be sad. But because they're skimming through the story so freaking fast, I didn't feel for the character. I didn't care. What's wild to me is I was sitting at the airport looking at, reviews for other people covering the Borderlands movie. Some people were saying it was like well-paced and all that stuff. No, it's not. I really don't get it. This is becoming a rant, I'm sorry, but like, that is not true. They rushed through it so fast. It was like, boom, we're at this location, boom, we're at this location, and oh, boom, hey, I'm a new character, and it's like, boom, hey, I'm also a new character. Mediocre battle, and then roll credits. Also, the guns in the film. The game franchise has bajillions of guns, right? The movie was 95% pistols. There was one rocket launcher and then one sniper. And oh, hold on, sorry. There's also Atlas. They've already confirmed that in the trailer. They have their Atlas assault rifles. Outside of what they showed in the trailer, the Infinity pistol, and then like in the trailer, the Marcus vending machine showing other items, but you never, see them be shot or whatever. It's just, they're in the vending machine. The whole movie was generic pistols. You couldn't even tell their manufacturer. They shot like Jacobs, all of them. And the only ones that stood out were the Infinity from Lilith and in the trailer, right? And that was pretty much it. Bro, Borderlands has bajillions of guns. They didn't capitalize on that. Or maybe they did. Maybe it didn't make the cut in the film. I don't know. For the plot, very generic, find the vault. That's not spoiler, by the way. That was in the trailer. Atlas is in the way. You gotta stop them. And so eventually they start battling back and forth, obviously, right? And all the action scenes except for one in the middle and one at the end were like super duper short. It's like, oh no, a threat. And then like in a minute or two, it's over. That's it. They did, do a lot of flare, a lot of CGI, which by the way was actually pretty good. The CGI was great. But it was just flashy and then it just happened too fast and then it was over. Not to mention, Lilith doesn't miss any shots at all in the film except for a few. Somehow, miraculously, she hits every single shot. It's just like very cheesy, very cheesy. And then the movie being rated PG-13 did hold it back, I feel like. They could have done so much better having blood and gore and whatnot. It was like pretty much they shot at the enemy, they do their stuntman fall over, and then they're dead, right? And then you've seen it in the trailer, but when Krieg's like hitting enemies, you just see a spark and then they fall over. Borderlands started off as a bloody, gory game in 2009. And I know I'm comparing to the games, but again, this is like literally what we know as the franchise. The movie comes in and changes everything up, and I didn't really enjoy that. So yeah, I feel like if they would have had like blood and gore, it could have really helped the film a lot. But I do understand there's different audiences for that, and they want to appeal to more people, but as a longtime fan, it was a little bit disappointing. This film, for the most part, was just fan service. Like, they literally ripped all locations and all, like, NPCs and stuff that were known from the game, and I'm not going to say exact map names, but they were like, alright, let's go to Three Horns Divide. And then, like, they jump cut to the map, and then they're like, yo, is that insert character name here? Oh my goodness, let's travel to insert map here from that game. It felt very forced, and I don't know, it didn't really come off as good. I honestly feel like if they would have did, like, different map locations, like, brand new ideas, it would have been, like, better. But they used the source from the game, and just, I don't know, it didn't come off the best. Now, let's talk about some other characters. So, Krieg. Bro, they butchered my boy Krieg, man. Oh, it's so sad. And again, I know that the film's supposed to be its own universe, own thing, separate from the games. But when you copy and paste the character over to the film, when things are different from the game, it's gonna stand out. So anyways, Krieg has been, like, dumbed down to be almost like a pet. And you might think, oh yeah, Krieg going crazy and stuff. Yeah, I could see that, trying to control him like a pet, kind of, maybe, possibly. Keep him tamed and, whatnot. No. This is sane Krieg the whole entire film. Like, Krieg is, again, I don't want to spoil things, but Krieg is just, like, sitting there doing the most chill things and barely talking. And then when he gets into a fight, they literally ripped, like, sounds from BL2, like, from the game. And they make Krieg say it during the fight. And this is sane Krieg. He wasn't going crazy. He wasn't hitting himself in the face. He wasn't like, He was literally just like, I'm gonna lick your spine, and then swings, and then that's kind of that. You never actually saw Insane Krieg. Also, his backstory for the film, they just skipped over that. It was just like, hey, here's Krieg. Hey, he's cool. And also, he's our pet now. As for Tannis, she came off as very bad at first. Like, she started off blurting out, like, science stuff back to back, and it was just, like, very forced. But I will give them credit. Over time, she did become better in the film, but yeah, the start of Tannis, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Also, I didn't mention it, again, scattered thoughts for this commentary. All the actors being older, I mean, they did kind of crack jokes about it in the film. Like, they subtly hinted at it during the film, and it was like a haha, alright, let's move on from there. But I truly do feel like if they would have got different actors, in fact, Krieg's acting was good. His whole, like, character development and stuff was bad. But the guy who played Krieg, I can't think of his name, I'm sorry. But as far as I know, he's not like a big actor. Like, he's not known for a lot of things, I don't think. And he was literally, like, good. But when they put, like, these big actor names behind major characters in a film, it was really hard to actually immerse yourself into their role. I couldn't do it. In fact, Kevin Hart, let's talk about Kevin Hart. He played Roland in the movie, and the whole entire time, he's like this dad kind of guy, you know, like parenting. And he was never happy. He was just like, all right, let's get this done. It was very awkward, you know, because we know Kevin Hart as the funny comedy guy, right? And so that really stood out, and I couldn't immerse myself into him being Roland. All right, cutting all the way to the end. They did a big thing at the end and it wasn't explained. In fact, if you play Borderlands, the games, then you understand why that thing would have happened. But for the casual person who's never like played Borderlands ever, they would be so lost. Like, it was not explained at all in the film. It's like, hey, guess what? This can happen now. And Bob McBob, who has never played Borderlands, would be like, wait, why? What's going on here? What is this? What does it mean? They would be so lost. The film gets wrapped up pretty much at that point, and then it ends. Yeah, the plot was not good. All right, let's talk about the good. There was some good stuff in the film. I'm not just gonna bash every bad thing and call it a video. I'm giving it a fair shake. Tina did a good job. Claptrap was great. Krieg was great acting-wise, but again, it skipped over all of his stuff. The sound effects were great, the explosion noises, the gun sounds, all that kind of stuff. The CGI was good. Very well made, believable. Claptrap looked amazing, by the way. They did a good job with that. Claptrap had his new jokes. It wasn't like, you know, copy-paste from the game. Jack Black delivered those lines for Claptrap very well. They were funny. Again, I didn't laugh, but it was like Claptrap. Claptrap was Claptrap, and I was cool with that. Like, he was literally the humor of the film. Again, I didn't laugh, but I played the games long enough to where I'm used to his humor. But yeah, for the few who did laugh in the audience, it was a Claptrap moment usually. In fact, at the very end, they do the credits and Claptrap's at the end there. Not really a spoiler. It's not like anything major in my opinion. He did a funny thing in the end credits, and I thought it was good. One more thing I skipped over. You might have noticed in the trailer, there's a car scene, right? And earlier I said, oh, they walked everywhere. That car scene was literally just the car scene. It was maybe, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes long. And then cars no longer existed on Pandora. They just walked everywhere for some reason. It's very odd. And then one more good thing, Marcus. Marcus, he was good. He played the role really well as the gun salesman. He made his jokes casually. He didn't force them. So yeah, Tina, Claptrap, Krieg, and Marcus were literally the carry for the film, in my opinion. Also, guys, keep in mind, I'm not like the Borderlands dictionary, like, what do you want to call this? Like, my opinion does not end everybody else's opinion. This is just how I feel about the film. Like, I wouldn't see the movie again. I saw it once in the theaters, and that's it. Like, it is a watchable movie for the most part. If you play the games, you're going to be able to follow the lore, but it's just going to be sloppy and rushed. But if you somehow never played Borderlands, you're going to be so lost at the end and not understand what is going on. So honestly, I would say wait until you can watch it stream somewhere. I don't know. If Netflix or Hulu drops that, then there you go. But yeah, I saw it the once in theaters. I wouldn't recommend buying a movie ticket to go see it. Unless you just want to chill. Like, the film is watchable. At the premiere, nobody walked out. Everybody stood around. It wasn't so bad that people were just like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. Everybody stayed. So if you're looking to burn like almost close to 2 hours, then sure, go see it. But honestly, I would say wait until it's streamed somewhere if you want to watch it, if you really want to watch it. But yeah, I think that's it for spoiler free. So let's talk about spoilers. So right now on the screen, we're talking about spoilers. There's a giant text there you can see, like, spoilers, bro. All right, so we all were expecting the Marcus intro from the game, you know, like, so you want to hear a story, eh? And like Marcus opens up a book or whatever, like starts a story. Nope, it's Tannis talking, and then like there's, you know, special effects happening, talking about Iridian stuff. That was a missed opportunity, but it was its own thing, and it was okay. But it was sad that, you know, Marcus didn't start the story like always. And then we meet Lilith, and she's shown to be like this ruthless bounty hunter, like, I'll do this, sure, I'll take the money. That was Lilith, pretty much. Later on, she did develop a little bit to be more like, alright, I care about people now, but for the most part, she just didn't care about anybody but herself. And then Atlas, the guy who plays Atlas, comes in, and I'm sorry, but he just, dude, he barely showed up in the film. He's like, I'm here, I need a favor. And then midpoint through the film, he's like, you better do that favor. And then at the very end, it's like, you didn't do the favor? And then he ends up like dying off. This is Atlas, you know, the giant army of people that have all this like tech and power. Like, all you saw for Atlas was like a ship, a drone, and like a spaceship in the sky. And that was it. Like, literally, you didn't see their facility. You didn't see like anything like that. They're almost like a side threat. Like, in the games, they're usually the main culprit, evil corporation thing going on, right? But no, he was like a side thing, and it was just brushed off as like horrible. Oh, and then Commander Nox, she was kind of like the right-hand woman for Atlas. Dude, at the very end, for no reason, she's like, you know what? I'm done doing what you're gonna say, Atlas. I'm switching sides. And then a laser beam shot her and just disintegrated her, and she was gone. Like, there was no explanation of why she wants to switch sides. It was just randomly thrown in there. But I think what they were trying to do is have it be a, oh my goodness, Borderlands is so random and wacky. wow, they just randomly killed off a major character. That was wacky. It just didn't work. Like, I'm sorry. It should have been better explained, like, why she switched sides. It was just thrown out there for no reason. Maybe at some point in the film there was a story behind it, but it got cut out. Either way, it was weird. Anyways, at the very start, you have Roland trying to save Tina from her, like, prison. Tina's like, oh, you're shorter than I thought. That was the short joke. Bravo. And then as they're trying to escape, Krieg literally busts out a wall. And then Tina's like, oh, hey, it's Krieg. And then, like, they were buddies. And again, earlier I couldn't say it because we were talking about the non-spoilers, but Krieg is literally Tina's pet. They are buddy, let's braid each other's hair. Krieg was so chill, and it was weird, and I didn't like that. And in the games, you would think, you know, like, Krieg has a good attachment to somebody, like Maya, right? In the game, it's like Krieg and Maya. And then anybody else in that circle would be a threat to that relationship. So taking that game knowledge to the movie, Krieg is like, oh, hey, it's Roland. Hey, we're cool. So Krieg is like buddy with anybody without Tina saying, like, there's just a feeling of, oh, hey, Tina's cool with this person, so therefore, like, Krieg automatically knows that he should be cool with that person. It was weird. So then Lilith is doing the job for Atlas to recover Tina because she's like the prodigy, the child of the vault. I wish I could tell you why. I don't know. It's the plot, so that's what's up. So yeah, she's like the child of the vault who can open the vault. She's like an important key of the movie. Nope. Later on, she's found to be literally a side character, and she does not have anything to do with the vault. It was Lilith the whole time. Oh my goodness, she can open the vault. Who would have guessed? So at this point, it should be a little bit more obvious, but Lilith was the siren. She was discovering her siren power. But there's always a but. Near the end, Lilith randomly teleported on accident. Everybody thought Tina did it. And at the end of the film, the final like fight scene, Lilith shows her siren powers for the second time now. And she somehow completely masters it. Like, she can teleport where she wants to teleport to, not accidentally. And then she stands on the vault, like, key slot, and then just randomly gets siren powers bursting out of her body. And she mastered that too. She could fly around and put a fiery shield around her teammates and throw fireballs. And, oh, she made a, like, what do you even call that? Like, a grapple to grab Tina. She, like, fell in the well. She, like, grabbed her with a fiery, like, almost like a Spider-Man web shot kind of thing, except with fire. And then pulls Tina back up, you know, she did all the stuff, just, she mastered it. She just knew how to do it. And then they go into the vault. By the way, the vault keys are these giant, like, oversized Doritos. I understand they made them handheld in order to, like, actually use them more efficiently in the film, instead of having these giant things, but that's a little bit of a nitpick, I guess. So they go into the vault because Atlas has Tina in a chokehold. It's like, yo, open the vault or I'm gonna shoot the girl or whatever, right? And so Lilith literally shoves him into the vault. And guess what the inside of the vault was? It was literally a very flat plane, void background with floating cubes everywhere. Yeah, it was like very disappointing. And then coincidentally, a tentacle comes out the ground. This is the ball monster. It comes out the ground, grabs Atlas, only that guy, you know, just grabs him, and then pulls him into a hole. And then Lilith and Tina are saved, and I guess they got out. And then what's so weird after that is they got back to Sanctuary, and then they're lighting fireworks and stuff, like they're celebrating, but like, why? Atlas was never a threat to citizens. Like, they're almost like the police in a way. Like, they're just like wandering around, trying to get information, stuff like that. They were never threats to the actual citizens. So yeah, they're lighting up fireworks because, like, Lilith got her siren powers? Like, it wasn't explained. It was just like, hey, let's celebrate. It was very weird. And then the movie just ends there. I did skip over some stuff in the movie, but we're gonna go back. I'm, again, scattered thoughts here. So the maps, right? They went to Caustic Caverns. By the way, jump cut. They're like, all right, let's go to Caustic Caverns. Boop, they're there, right? It wasn't a caverns. It was a sewer. They literally walked through a sewer, and it was all green. Like, don't get me wrong, it looked cool. It was like a very green, gooey, sludgy sewer area. But bro, it's called Caustic Caverns, and it ended up being this like small sewer. It was very odd. Oh, during the final fight. So this is Atlas at the ball. Before they went into the ball and like he ended up dying off. Krieg was there, and Crom was there too. And Crom looks like Mouthpiece. He was just giant like bandit dude. He, for some reason, appeared at the very end and was working alongside with Atlas. Why? I don't know. Anyways, there's a point in which Crom and Krieg start a fight. And dude, it ends in literally like a minute. In my opinion, that was such a missed moment. Like, dude, it would have been so cool to see these giant, towering, psycho almost characters bashing blades, you know, head to head and like having an epic fight. But no, I think they just cut out all that fight. Like, Krieg literally just threw him in a hole at the end. In my opinion, that might be the most disappointing point in the film for a fighting scene. That was such a missed opportunity. That would have been like an epic fight, but they cut it short. It wasn't that epic, and that was sad. All right, so let's talk about the point in which Lilith finds Tina for the first time. Tina was like very, hey, leave me alone. I'm gonna throw like dynamite at you, and you have to dodge for a bit. That whole entire time, Krieg was just chilling in a like container, like I think it was like a garbage can. I don't know what it was. I only saw the movie once. I can't really go back and review that, but yeah, he was like chilling in some container. I think it was a truck. And this entire time that Tina's fighting Lilith, Krieg decides to finally pop out at the very end and defend Tina and like, you know, fight with Lilith a little bit. That was a little bit odd because like Krieg is Tina's pet in a way, so like why didn't he come out earlier and try to save her? And then moving forward again, I'm sorry about the scattered thoughts of this commentary. I'm not scripting it. I want to be sincere. Later on, Lilith stumbles upon randomly her old house. Remember, we're walking everywhere too. We're just like traversing Pandora like at light speed apparently. She finds her old house, finds a picture of her mom. This is just thrown in there randomly. And then she finds a drawing on the floor. And then it triggers something in Claptrap. Somehow, Claptrap just falls over. And then it shoots up one of those Star Wars hologram things, except it's her mother, and it's just like, Lilith, I miss you, that's it for me, I'm gonna die, and then also you're special, bye. And then Claptrap like wakes back up like, oh, what happened? Yeah, that whole entire 2-minute section was supposed to be all the build up for understanding that Lilith is a siren, and like literally that's all the backstory we got, and that was that for the siren lore. And that's what I'm referring to too, for the people who don't know Borderlands the game at all. They mention Siren and then, you know, they show off the flying around and stuff, the fire attacks and whatnot. But we as the gamers understand the lore of the Siren. It wasn't explained in the film. It's just a, hey, you're special, boom, look at this magic. Boom, 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 I can shoot fire and fly. Yeah, so people who do not know the game are gonna be so lost at that point and not understand. This movie falls literally as a fan service, so you would think maybe, oh, it could be for people who don't play Borderlands, right? Well, like I just said, you're gonna be so lost with the lore at the end. So like literally this movie doesn't have a place, a good balance for the right audience out there. Plot holes everywhere, extremely fast pacing, like jump cutting to traveling the whole entire planet. There was only 2 scenes in which they showed like the overview of like a canyon to show the massiveness of it. They did that twice, and then again, they jump cut and then boom, they're in said location. Man, okay, so there was a little bit of good. We can spoil the goods. Sanctuary, the main hub, they get there about midpoint in the film. It was pretty solid. It was amazing. There was people in the background, very interactive. Marcus was there. You met Moxie, and Moxie, she played it good. But in the game, she's just like innuendo. You know, she doesn't talk like a whole lot, right? But in the film, she had like an actual personality, like, hey, what are you doing? Let me help you out, you know, kind of thing. It did come off as weird because they added something new, a new take on Moxie a little bit. But overall, she was still Moxie, and she pulled it off pretty well. Marcus was like always hustling, trying to sell something. He actually mentioned the Infinity, like, hey, do you want an Infinity pistol? And then that's when Lilith got the Infinity. This might be a nitpick, but he didn't do the whole, you know, shoot the customer in the leg and, hey, you don't get a refund. You know, he didn't do any refund jokes, really. But yeah, Marcus pulled it off well. Happy with him. He didn't force it. And then Claptrap, he showed up at the very beginning, and he stuck around for the whole entire film. He was the extra joke at the end every time a transition's about to happen. And it was in Claptrap humor. Like, I honestly thought it was okay. I know some people aren't very happy about Jack Black voicing Claptrap. I wasn't either. Like, it doesn't sound like Claptrap from the game. It sounds very deep in. The voice is deeper, right? At the beginning, I was a little bit bothered, but as I watched the film, I got used to it, and at the end, I didn't really care at that point. So yeah, Claptrap jokes were good, and Jack Black pulled it off. And now, as for like enemies in the film, they showed 1 Skag and 1 Rack flying by. But outside of that, it was pretty much just like Atlas, and then random psychos in a cave. This is Caustic Caverns. They were all in like Caustic Caverns chilling. They pulled it off pretty well. They were just like, you know, wacky, crazy, and swinging blades around and being weird, right? Psycho stuff. And this is cool. There was one scene in which they were in Caustic Caverns, and they were in a dark area, and they were appearing out of the shadows, like coming down from the ceiling, almost like spider psychos. It was interesting, but honestly, it came off good. I like that part too. Tannis, again, she started off kind of cringy, and then she got better. She was the science lady trying to help, you know, people find the ball and understand how to unlock it and stuff. That's why they're in Costa Caverns and why they're, you know, like traveling around. They have to find the 2 vault keys and then the 3rd key, which they thought was Tina, but turned out to be Lilith. So yeah, Tannis was going around and she was kind of like the 3rd wheel, just being there, but she pulled off her role okay. Her grabbing a gun was a little bit like forced to help out. But I mean, it does make sense because I mean, in the game, she's literally, I think, autistic. So in the movie, she kind of did things out of the spur, out of like habit, and just wanted to do what she wanted to do. So yeah, I would say Jamie Lee Curtis pulled off Tannis pretty well. You know, again, she's older. They should have dyed her hair black at least to make it match a little bit better. But her playing a character, I think, was okay. But all the other characters, Atlas, Lilith, Creek played okay, but again, he was the pet, so I didn't like that. Enemies were stormtroopers missing every shot, you know how it goes. The Bolt Monster was, again, just tentacles coming out the ground, and you don't get to see them. They're just there for a second. Who else? Crom, and I think that's all the enemies they fought in the film. Oh, there was that giant Thresher, sorry. It was one scene. It's like, roar. It's like Terramorphosized Thresher blows them up. They move on from there. Really cut it short. It was just like a small scene and then moving on. And that does remind me. Action skills, right? In the game, Roland has Scorpio turret, right? Roland in the film, Kevin Hart, he didn't have that. Kevin Hart had the same pistol for the whole entire film, and he was just a mad dad the whole time. Teleporting around, I think, was phase walk, so it does have that connection there. Tina threw dynamite, I mean, it matches her theme, and Ariana did pull it off pretty well. So that does kind of bring me to my final conclusion here. The movie, as an entirety, is very forgettable. It's a very generic, typical Hollywood film. You see it once and you forget about it. But with very low expectations going into the movie, it was watchable. Nobody walked out during the film. This is like, again, 200 plus people. But the whole audience was silent the whole time. There's barely anybody laughing. And the whole vibe was literally watching a comedy, action film, and generic film, pretty much. So it was watchable. So I would say, like I said for the spoiler-free part, I wouldn't pay to see it in theaters. Whenever it comes to streaming, watch it there. If you're bored one day and want to burn a couple of hours, go for it. I know some people might be disappointed about my opinion for the movie, but comedy is subjective. Some people might find it funnier than others. My opinion's not the one to end all opinions. And who knows, maybe you'll really like it. I know some people did really like it. I talked to a few people. I'm not going to put them on a pedestal. They enjoyed it. But the majority that I talked to did not really care. It was just a fun film. We'll put it that way. It was literally a fun film. You sit there, you chill, you got something to talk about afterwards for a little bit. A week later, you forget about it, you move on. Generic Hollywood film. For the final bit, I did promise my audience that I would answer 5 questions from Twitter and 5 questions from YouTube. So whatever 5 comments got the most thumbs up, I'm going to answer it. So Lahi Giblet says, if you were not a fan of the franchise and had little to no knowledge, does the movie stand on its own, or is there some base ideas and understanding needed to appreciate or get the film? Well, if you don't know Borderlands, then the first 3/4 of the movie will be just generic Hollywood film. But the last little bit, people would be completely lost if they have not played the game. Next one from Hector, does it contain any of the Borderlands magic that allows us to love the franchise despite the flaws? And then a second part to it, but hold on here. There was a little bit, like I said, Claptrap was great, and the jokes are great. So depending on the person, you might get a little bit of a haha nostalgic moment from it. Like there's a lot of like, hey, that thing from the movie, I remember that from the game. And that game, you know, knowledge gives you that hit of nostalgia. So in a way, you get that nostalgia, which makes you feel good about what maybe happens in the movie. Does that make sense? But it's only like a small part, like maybe 5 to 7% of it. And then the second part, does a true Borderlands fan gain something from this movie that will make us remember it fondly in any type of way? No, it's very forgettable. Alright, we have Crypto, he says, does it pay homage to the franchise in a careful and correct manner? Or does it feel like a movie which was written with the Borderlands theme as an afterthought? No, there was too much, hey, let's go to insert map name here from the game. Next scene, oh hey, there's that person from Borderlands 2, name, insert name here. You know what, let's travel off to insert other map name here. They ripped things from the game, but it was a very jaggedly cut jigsaw puzzle that was being shown. It was all pieced together in such a messed up way. Again, it was watchable, but it's gonna be a roller coaster to follow. And there's gonna be a lot of questions too about like why, just why. All right, next one's gonna be from Anthony Garone. He says, I'm curious if the siren lore is a thing in the movie. Is it just a movie about characters with superpowers, playing off Marvel DC movie popularity? Or is it really building its own universe like the game did? The whole like fiery Lilith thing, it kind of did seem like that superhero, which I cannot think of, I'm sorry. But yeah, they kind of seem very similar, using fire as a way of attacking and defense. But that goes all the way back to BL1, it's been a thing forever, so I don't really play much into that. But yeah, as for building its own universe, I don't know about that. Like, Randy did confirm at some interview there's going to be a Borderlands cinematic universe. He called it the BCU. But the film did not set up any sort of, like, cliffhanger or anything. I mean, thank goodness. Like, there was no Handsome Jack plot twist or nothing like that at the end. It just ended with fireworks and, hey, Lilith, do the thing. And she flies up and then you see a Firehawk symbol in the sky. And then it ends. So I can't see it continuing from there. Maybe there was a plan for it, but I don't know. Maybe they're backpedaling from that now. Projected sales don't look good. I think they're making back like 10% of the profit they put into the film. So it's not looking very good. So I could not see a continuation for this like film, the Borderlands universe continuing. Moving on there, sorry that was a long one. For the final question from Twitter, we have Pixel Fellows. They say, do you think this gives hope for the future of the Borderlands franchise in general? I don't know, like, the movie felt like a separate thing, but at the same time, you could always make the argument of, hey, all that money, I think it was like 115 million, went into the film. You could say, hey, that money could have went for Borderlands 4. But I mean, you can make that argument for anything extra on the Borderlands IP, like, hey, don't sell hoodies and mugs and stuff, like, just have that money all go towards the next game. Oh, you're selling a Borderlands comic book? No, put that money towards the next game. But the film, again, was very, very expensive, so I do hope that didn't impact the next game at all. We'll never get a straight answer, but I'm sure that they see the numbers, they know the film's not doing good, and in my opinion, I think this is just a one-time thing, something different. They tried it, and it didn't work out. So does it give hope for the future of the Borderlands franchise? I mean, only if the money did not impact the game. Then yes. If it did, then no. But who knows, like, the budget limit they're going for Borderlands 4. Alright, moving over to YouTube, 1.9k likes. This is from Jojo Robmum. Did I say it right? Did you see any guns with a matching grip? No, the guns seem for the most part in the movie to be non-uniques from the game. They had like one characteristic from a manufacturer, like a flat-off barrel. But then the rest of the gun looked very different, like, from the game. And like I said earlier, they all shot like Jacob pistols. Except for the Infinity in that one scene. That was it. So matching grip-wise, I don't think so. I mean, I guess I can't tell. Oh, and by the way, no gub. I did scour the film for a gub. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but, you know, what if. But yeah, no gub. Next one from me, Heinen. Is that right? Was it as much of a disappointment as predicted? Depends on the person. I'm not dodging the question, by the way. It depends on the person. For me, I had very low expectations, and when I saw the movie, it was a little bit higher than what I initially went in thinking it was going to be. So it came off as like, alright, it was watchable, cool. But some people are going in with straight hate, you know. I know people are going to hate watch the movie and whatever. I don't care. You might be like, oh, it's that bad part. Oh, that part was terrible, and laugh about it, you know. Like, you might enjoy that, like, enjoy the hate watching. If you go in with a clean slate or low expectations, you will come out neutral at the end, just as a see it once, forget about it, move on. Next one's going to be from Reese Gobel. Was it made for the Borderlands fans or for a general audience? Neither. If you're a fan, you're going to nitpick it and just don't enjoy the parts like I did. You're going to see so many parts where you're like, hey, that didn't happen in the game. Oh, they said that thing from the game. Oh, hey, there's that map from the game. Why does that map from the movie look different from the game? You know what I mean? And then for the general audience, you're going to be lost on the lore because they didn't cover what a siren is. So I think it was leaning more towards the Borderlands fans than general audience, just due to like all the references from the games, all the quotes and whatnot, the jokes, yeah. Alright, Paul says here, did they manage to capture the niche comedy from the games, or did they fumble and make it too Hollywood? It was too Hollywood. I feel like they tried, like from the game, for example, so many popular NPCs only say a few things, and that's what they're known for. But they did capitalize on it a little bit and make him more in-depth, and same with Moxie too. So some, they did capture that niche comedy, but a lot of it was Hollywood. Not to mention too, a lot of it was just way too fastly handled. The pacing was way too fast, and you could not even build up a character to understand everything you need to know about them. But for the most part, too Hollywood. Final question is going to be from Jun Jun. Did any of the gun meta related inside jokes from the Borderlands community make it into the movie? No, like the only unique gun that was noticeable was the Infinity. Everything else just seemed like non-unique stuff. Oh, and that reminds me, we didn't even talk about the elements. Elements in the movie do not exist. There's no fire element, corrosive element, shock element. Like all the bullets are just like real life bullets. Like boom, bullet comes out, person gets hurt, falls over. Not to mention everything dies in one shot. So that was a little bit of a bummer. Like, yeah, they didn't do elements at all. And that also includes special bullet patterns, no like deep spreading bullets or shot. Dude, there was no shotguns. It was just regular bullets the whole movie. No cool bandit-made chain guns or just like bottle sights or, you know, nothing crazy. They were just generic guns. The manufacturers didn't exist. There was no Vladoff. There was no guns with legs. No TD or chucking. No shields. No relics. No class mods. It's clear that a lot got cut out, for sure. Alright, anyways, that is a lot of commentary. I threw my thoughts out there. It was scattered. Take it how you will. I don't like ranking things. I really don't, because, like, what do you base it off of? Like, there's nothing to compare, like, the movie to outside of, like, the games. Again, I'm going to put it as a generic Hollywood film. You watch it once, you forget about it later on. I wouldn't recommend seeing it in theaters. I would just wait until it's streamed somewhere. If you want to burn a couple of hours, go for it. But I saw it once, and I'll probably never watch it again. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an awesome day, and I will see you next time. Peace out.